Well, hello. So, we're going to this session. Actually, we would like to present a statement, a declaration, as an output from the several days of gathering, discussion, and sharing of how we see ourselves in the present and how we are going to move forward. And we have prepared a draft for everyone's consideration. Originally, if you look at your agenda, it was we wanted to call it the Chilean Declaration. But we were just thinking, in most of the declarations or in most of the conventions or statements, they're mostly based on the city, not on the country. So I would like to suggest that we, instead of using Chilean Declaration, we'll call it Santiago de Chile Declaration, to specifically identify the city where this declaration was formally established. So that sometime in the future, if we have another one in Chile, for instance in Valparaiso or somewhere, we won't get confused that it's another Chilean declaration. So with that, do we have the PowerPoint to share with everyone? We didn't distribute copies, right? Did we? So we need to project it on screen, please. The declaration, in summary, contains the things that we have. The circumstances and the situations that brought us here so far, and hopefully would also contain our aspirations on what we see ourselves in the future. How we as a community, as a group, would push the movement further as an aggregation, as Richard has mentioned, and also as having a deeper impact into the lives of people. Are the slides ready? Okay. So the declaration will be dated today, April 7, 2011. And let me just read to you first while they're still fixing the presentation. This is the first paragraph. We, the participants, representing the global telecenter movement and actors and organizations working towards the achievement of social development through the use of information and communication technologies. At the third Global Forum on Telecentres held in Santiago, Chile from 5th to 7th of April 2011, semicolon. A second paragraph, conscious of the digital revolution in all parts of the world, occurring in the last part of the 20th century, which has redefined capacities for knowledge and expanded opportunities for sharing and collaboration, semicolon. Cognizant that the telecenter movement is one that will have a significant global impact on poverty alleviation and bridging the digital divide. We're already in the third paragraph, La brecha digital. Okay. Next paragraph. Resolute in the belief that access to the internet is and should be a basic human right for all. And further aware of the capacity of telecentres to empower the communities they serve, particularly the remote and underserved, to enter the information economy by way of bringing information, knowledge, digital skills, and services to the grassroots. Next paragraph. Bearing in mind the need to strengthen these telecentres to improve their capacity for service, to establish both social and functional sustainability, and to provide a platform for the continuous sharing of knowledge and development. Considering that the goal of MDG, Millennium Development Goal 3, is to promote gender equality and empower women, and that for women in particular, ICT has proven to be life-changing, since ICT has broken traditions and social prejudices, expanded their roles in society and at home, given many a new economic and social freedom that has redefined them as persons of stature and value in their communities, and that for millions of women, digital literacy is the lifeline to a new future. And reaffirming the declaration of the World Summit on Information Society, established in Geneva in 2003, to build a people-centered, inclusive, and development-oriented information society for all, ensuring that everyone can benefit from the opportunities that ICTs can offer. And reaffirming as well the priorities set forth in the community charter developed during the Telecentre Leaders Forum at the 3rd Global Knowledge Conference in Malaysia in 2007 to strengthen and expand the telecentre community. Hereby declare, 1, to encourage the use of ICT in creating economic opportunities for the poor and underserved. 2, to establish collaboration, support, and sharing among the different regional and national telecentres worldwide in order to come together as a unified force working towards the improvement and sustainability of the telecentre movement. 3, to promote the role of telecentres in harnessing information technology for development and serving as community resources that facilitate employment, productivity, and community empowerment, especially at the grassroots level, specifically to those living in remote and underserved communities through skills development, empowerment, and pro-poor services. 4, to promote the inclusion and participation of women in all telecentre programs and support initiatives that aim to bridge the digital divide, providing women with ICT skills and resource mobilization to empower themselves and others. In particular, the Telecentre Women: Digital Literacy Campaign, which aims to provide for wide-scale digital literacy training for women at the grassroots level and recognition of women achievers in the telecentre movement. 5, to establish a platform for sharing knowledge among members of the global telecentre movement and various actors and organizations working towards the achievement of social development through the use of information and communication technologies. So this is basically the proposal that we're presenting to the body as the Santiago de Chile Declaration on April 7 of 2011. I open the floor to anybody who, looking at the document, would have some inputs, comments, you wish to add, you wish to subtract, you wish to amend. I think I see the hand of Polly. Polly, please. Is there a microphone? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Well, I think it's generally fine. I have two comments. One is that I would like to see in the beginning of the points, I've already forgotten exactly where it might come, a reference to the role of telecentres in promoting or supporting issues of citizenship and rights, not just sort of, economic improvement, but society improvement. And also something about the free flow of information, which I think is becoming a major issue in the ICT world and will become more so. And secondly, a tiny comment on, I think perhaps it was, I don't know if it was drafted in English, but there's a little bit in the Spanish translation, at least a bit about women. And I felt empowerment was translated as fortalecer el rol de la mujer. Yeah, I don't think that's strong enough. I don't know what you use for empowerment in Spanish. We use empoderamento in Portuguese.
Thank you, Polly. So you're suggesting that do we put it in the preamble or on the second or third paragraph? Can we have the slides back up, please? Oh, in the hereby declare. Okay, not in the conscious and the cognizant stage. Okay, so hereby declare to encourage the use of ICT. You're speaking about in the 1, 2, 3 point in the declaration itself. Next slide, please. Continue. See. Okay, number 1, to encourage the use of ICT in creating economic opportunities and citizenship, digital citizenship. Promoting citizenship and rights. Right?
Help me, somebody.
In creating economic opportunities and promoting.
Promoting citizens' rights or something. Huh?
Social?
Mm-hmm.
Social, yes, that can be.
Yeah, I don't want to get into human rights because that's such a kind of contentious thing.
Opportunities.
Okay. In creating economic and social opportunities. No? Citizen participation. Involvement of citizenship. Involvement of the citizen in governance. Is that what we're trying? Social inclusion? Social and civic participation. So, to encourage the use of ICT in creating economic opportunities and social and civic participation. Social and civic participation. For the poor and underserved. Is that how we continue it? So in creating economic opportunities, comma, social and civic participation. Yes? Yes.
I stress on Polly's point, and I would like to add giving voice to the voiceless using technology, if we can add it into this part. That's one point. There is another point. Did you take note of that?
Can you repeat it, please?
Yeah, I was saying that it's important also to mention giving the voice to the voiceless using technology, if we can add it into this part and the social inclusion.
So let me just repeat this. To encourage the use of ICT in creating economic opportunities, comma, social and civic participation for the poor and underserved, comma, giving voice to the voiceless.
Yeah, well, here it needs maybe a bit of language.
In the same sentence.
Creo que la palabra no es participación cívica, sino participación ciudadana. El concepto de ciudadanía es distinto al cívico. Y lo otro, creo que a lo que se refiere él es a un poco fomentar la gobernabilidad, o sea, que las personas ejerzan sus derechos a través de la gobernabilidad, que no solamente sean individuos que se queden quietos, sino que hagan ejercer sus derechos a través de las tecnologías.
Supongo que en este párrafo lo que se quiere enfatizar o agregar es el tema social y el derecho ciudadano, porque efectivamente, habitualmente, y aquí en esta declaración también se señala en este primer párrafo, desafortunadamente, que estamos poniendo mucho énfasis en lo económico, ¿no? Y generando, digamos, o poniendo eso como el factor principal de desarrollar o crear oportunidades de carácter económico. Luego habría que agregar la social y los derechos ciudadanos, por ejemplo. Sí, es eso. ¿Sí? Ah, ya. Ese es otro buen punto. Si es que todos están de acuerdo que el tema social debiera ser, digamos, el central. ¿Están así de acuerdo? Que tiene más que ver con el tema de empoderar a la gente, ¿no? Y entregarle voz y su derecho ciudadano.
Social, economic, and civic participation. Okay, economic at the end. Okay. Well, this is what we're going to do. We don't have much time, and if we're going through every paragraph with those inputs, we won't be able to clear through the time. So what Shadi has suggested, and which I agree, is we'll have your ideas place. You just tell us in which paragraph you'd want it. We'll identify the keywords and the ideas there. Then we will reformulate those statements, incorporating those ideas, so long as we find that there's a consensus among everybody that those are the ideas that we want to include. Then we will circulate it as redraft, incorporating those ideas, probably online, for everybody to validate. So with that, so would that be okay?
Yeah,
that's okay. So, yes, okay. So thanks, Shadi. So let's do it this way. So on the first, number one, what's important here is the word social and civic participation, right? Voice to the voiceless. Voice to the voiceless. And then the rights the rights of the people. Is that rights of the people, rights of people, free flow of information. Okay, paragraph number 2, which basically talks about establishing collaboration, support, and sharing among the different regional and national telecentres worldwide in order to come together as a united force, working towards improvement and sustainability of the telecentre movement. Any key ideas, inputs that you'd like to include? Can you put, por favor, sí, muchas gracias. Yes, please.
¿Aló? Bueno, primero que nada, como chilena, un honor que la declaración se llame la Declaración de Santiago de Chile. Creo que para todos los que estamos acá, siendo de la tierra de Michelle Bachelet, además, nuestra secretaria ejecutiva en la ONU Mujeres, es un doble orgullo. Hay algo que me queda dando vueltas con respecto a la declaración en general. Se focaliza, obviamente, en el trabajo con las mujeres, pero hay que hacer un trabajo con los hombres también. Los espacios que las mujeres tienen que ocupar son los espacios que ocupan los hombres también. Como el tema de enfoque de género en particular nos asegura que ser alfabetizados digitalmente no vuelva a replicar las asimetrías en el uso de las tecnologías y las asimetrías sociales que tienen hombres y mujeres en la actualidad, sobre todo en los países donde esa desigualdad es aún más evidente. Por lo tanto, tal vez... si bien el esfuerzo naturalmente dice focalizarse en las mujeres, pero hay una tarea fuerte que hacer. No quiero ser autorreferente, pero por ejemplo nuestros operadores de telecentro, la red de telecentro del Quiero Mi Barrio, han sido formados en enfoque de género, porque quienes empiezan a trabajar con mujeres tienen que también tener herramientas para entender que la emancipación, que la apertura de libertades de las mujeres tiene que ver también con un trabajo con hombres y con operadores de telecentro, que son nuestro front office, que son los que principalmente están en el día a día con esas mujeres, tienen que ser capaces de entender en los procesos en que están participando. Por lo tanto, me gustaría que eso quedara reflejado y manifiesto nuevamente el orgullo de que se llame la Declaración de Chile. Muchas gracias.
Yes, please.
I think my idea is, if you remember the Kuala Lumpur Declaration, we agree on the framework of the declaration, and we have been given 15 days after the translation of the declaration, and everyone put his comment on that declaration, and we put it on the web for all the telecentres to sign it, and this will be better, I think. The other thing, we have to have a clear point about inclusion of the disability, because people of disability are very important community, and they are more digitally divided. There is a big digital divide in that part of the community, and they are more than 16% of the world population. So we have to have a clear statement about that community.
Okay, but we're on paragraph number 2, which main theme is on collaboration. Collaboration, support, and sharing. So you want the statement on the disability to be probably in the first paragraph, encouraging the use of ICT. So the third paragraph talks about harnessing the information communication technology for development and serving as community resources to facilitate employment and productivity. And then just a statement. We'll find where it should be appropriately placed. Okay, so disability, people with disability. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm being reminded that we don't have much time. We're running late, and we still have so many things in the agenda. So we'll go through. I don't think we can go through them one by one anymore. You've already seen the statements, the declaration, the 5 points just provide us with more inputs, ideas on how you want, what are the general ideas, themes that you feel should be part of the declaration, please.
Gracias. Comparto el espíritu general del documento y creo que el mecanismo que ustedes han previsto para los aportes y correcciones es saludable. Si ustedes me autorizan, quisiera hacer un aporte, un párrafo adicional sobre el documento. En estos 3 días han participado representantes de gobiernos, representantes de Naciones Unidas. Naturalmente no pudieron estar todos los invitados de gobierno que la organización hubiera querido, pero me parece fundamental señalar que esta iniciativa debiera ser respaldada, invitar a los diferentes gobiernos del mundo a apoyar este documento y hacerlo realidad a través de sus políticas públicas. Gracias.
Tu idea es que los gobiernos también se hagan parte de esta declaración y que la firmen los gobiernos de cada uno de los países que están aquí representados, para ser más exacto.
De los países aquí representados como de los países donde vamos a volver, y cada uno de nosotros, de nuestras respectivas instituciones, redes, invitaremos a que los mismos tomen esta declaración y la respalden, ¿no?
Por eso digo,
Sí.
que cada uno de los países que está representado a través de ustedes, de los que están aquí presentes,
Efectivamente.
ese es tu...
So basically, it's a participation and cooperation, encouraging government to sign the declaration. Yes. Okay. Or representative of governments. I was just thinking. Okay. I was just thinking. You know.
Representante de los ámbitos de comunicación y nuevas tecnologías, naturalmente, ¿no?
Yes. Okay. I'm just thinking that when you start having the government signing, it involves a totally different dimension, because each of those agents of government will have to ask permission from their president to be given the authority to sign. And you know, it becomes not just a declaration, it becomes an international convention, a treaty. So it actually expands it. What we want to do here is just this declaration is as I said earlier, is a statement of who we are in the Telecenter movement, how we came about, and what are our aspirations. Perhaps the involvement of other entities such as government in the participation, perhaps we can declare as encouraging government to support this movement as one of better global citizenship, but we cannot require them to sign as part. It becomes very complex, very complicated. So is this okay? And please.
Es correcto, es una recomendación. Gracias.
Okay, thank you. Yes, there are several comments. So, yes, please.
Yes. Sí, este es un comentario general, no necesariamente sobre un párrafo en particular. Y yo creo que tenemos que tener cuidado cuando usamos la palabra telecentros, de modo que otros centros de acceso a las TIC no se sientan excluidos. Creo que debemos aclarar si también estamos aquí hablando de bibliotecas, de aulas abiertas y de telecentros en el sentido general de la palabra o en el sentido estricto de la palabra. Entonces yo creo que tenemos que asegurarnos que estos otros centros de acceso a las TIC, nuevamente, como bibliotecas, aulas en colegios que abren en horarios fuera de clase, se sientan identificados con esta declaración para que no sigamos generando como un movimiento aparte de todo lo que está pasando en general en los centros de acceso a las TIC.
Okay, so we recognize that there will be other formats where ICT can be utilized to further the objectives of our movement. And so the suggestion would be taken into consideration, and Shadi suggesting that we'll probably put a footnote on Telecenter and put in an explanation of what we mean by Telecenter, incorporating all the various methodologies and tools that are used to convey or to attain our basic objectives of empowering people in a more inclusive manner through the use of technology. Is that how you would want it to be stated?
Yes, but I think that some clear access centers that have emerged in some of our countries need to be explicitly there. The perfect example is libraries. They need to feel part of this movement, and in some of our countries they don't feel part of this movement because they don't relate with the word telecenter. So we need to be very careful in how we draft this, not necessarily just as a footnote, but in the text, that when we say telecenter, we imply the broader concept of ICT access centers, such as whatever, but they need to be included or feel included in this declaration.
So suggest put it in the preamble at the start that telecenters meaning
or it includes
including
something like that. We don't have to go over the words now, but that's sort of the concept.
Okay.
Thank you.
Broader definition of telecenter. Okay. Yes, a gentleman.
Hola, buenos días. Tal vez es posible, por favor, poner de nuevo el texto en la pantalla. Aquí. Gracias. Quería hacer dos comentarios generales. Uno es, digamos, cuando estamos hablando de desarrollo, a veces queda implícito, digamos, que las tecnologías pueden por sí solas promover el desarrollo. Entonces, quizá, y desde el trabajo que nosotros como UNESCO venimos haciendo, es que es necesario que se puntualice, digamos, cuando hablamos de desarrollo, quizá puntualizar el derecho de acceso a información, ¿no?, que los ciudadanos y las ciudadanas tienen para promover el desarrollo. Una cosa. Y la otra es que en el punto 3, mi percepción es que se torna un poco general o un poco utilitarista el término de telecentros, digamos, como que se ve como que es un espacio aparte, paralelo de lo que está pasando en el mundo y en la sociedad. Y creo que es importante ligarlo al tema de cómo los telecentros son un actor social que tiene relación con el desarrollo y por ende con digamos, el diseño y la implementación y la valoración de las políticas públicas en todos los países. Y entonces es necesario que pongamos en énfasis cómo los telecentros tienen, digamos, cumplen un rol importante para cambiar las políticas que tienen que ver con el desarrollo en temas de acceso a educación, acceso a información, salud, educación, empoderamiento de las mujeres, ¿no? Puntualizar esas dos cosas.
Okay, so thank you very much for that comment. It will be duly noted. Our time is up. and we have to leave the premises. Otherwise, they'll call the police to eject us. So thank you very much for all your comments. We'll post this online on the Telecenter website, and we encourage you to put in additional comments if you have, and it will be a collaborative product, but nonetheless, it will all be our joint aspirations that will be contained in this document. So thank you very much. Thank you, Shadi. Thank you.
Muy bien, para finalizar, el presidente